guys, Joe here from XFoxGames. Check it out, we got the Uzi SMG. Now, I've actually already shot this video once, but my Uzi SMG just didn't want to work, so I was like, no, okay, I gotta give this thing another chance. Now, before I even start, there is a few numbers I want you to remember, and for a lot of you guys who've been following along, I want you to remember the number 66. That's it, right? That's all you gotta do. Anyways, let's hop right in and check this bad boy out. So you can pick these up right now on Amazon, roughly about $60-ish. There are a couple different versions of this, whether you want to get all the attachments, whether you want the different, so just kind of pick and choose which one you want. But for the most part, you don't have to go for the one with all the cool stuff on it, but I opted to just to see if it would help at all. So let's take a quick look at the actual box. I mean, not too bad. Uzi SMG looks pretty good. I mean, doesn't have the orange tip in there, but the box is not that bad. When we open up the box, you can see here, you got the blaster, you got a bunch of little goodies in there, you got the mags, you got all the stuff. But for me, I was like, wait a second, where's most of this stuff? Ah, gotcha, it's underneath. So make sure you lift that up and make sure you get all the other additional attachments underneath the particular kind of casing there on the inside. Now, this blaster itself, I mean, again, my first one that I got did not want to feed right. It was just acting really, really weird. So unfortunately, I had to send it back and get another one. I almost was not going to give this another chance, but I saw other reviews. I was like, okay, I got to try it because if you guys remember, yes, I also have the Uzi, and I was like, if this thing is anything like this thing, let's test it out and see how it is. So for size comparison, you guys can see here, it is almost identical in size. I'm talking like, it's very, very close, right? Like super, super close. But the internals, of course, are a little bit different. You can get the Uzi in a couple different configurations, and that Uzi, though, is going to run you probably 4 times this, maybe even, 3 or 4 times this, depending on what you get on your Uzi. But enough with that. Still, this thing is not that bad. But let's take a look at the actual items in the box so you can see. So you got the blaster there, you got a mag. Now this is a specific mag, so you make sure you want to pick up a few more of those. You do have 2 different sights. You have a larger red dot scope, as well as kind of a smaller red dot scope, as well as a top kind of thread rail extender there, as well as, yes, the kind of plastic muzzle there. And it does come with a battery as well as a charger and 24 rounds. Now, the biggest thing with this is going to be the rounds. If you guys remember, some of the previous blasters that we've done have come along with darts that are specific for that blaster, whether they're mini darts, whether they are kind of, I don't even know what you want to call them, half length darts. By all means, I mean, that's all right. But most of us want to just say, look, I want to use the same stuff we have now and not have to buy additional stuff. So this, you could see, comes along with 12 of these suction darts, or whatever you want to call those, and 12 of these are kind of the classic darts that I've been seeing of these kind of off-brand dart shooters, where they're black in the back, but they have a very, very hard tip on it. You do not want to shoot anything with this that you do not want to break. If it's glass, something like that, don't shoot it. You guys will hear here when we kind of shoot this, these hit hard, and yeah, that tip on there is a hard plastic. Now, they are the same size as the standard short-length darts in industry, which is awesome because now I can use some of my Dart Zone Pro stuff, some of my Adventure Force Pro stuff. I can use that inside my shootings, and that's one of the biggest things about this blaster that I like is it uses darts that I already have, and I don't have to buy something very specific. Now, it does also come with a charger as well as a USB. It charges probably in about an hour-ish, depending on how much you've drained it. And I ended up getting around about 13 to 14 mags, depending on how long you held that motor rev down. So we could say about 13 mags, perfect. 14 mags is how many I got out of here. Now, I did notice, though, after the 13 and 14, if you kind of let it sit for a little bit, you can get a few more. But about 14 is what I was able to get out of this particular thing. Because, I mean, you're talking 4 motors in there. So it's you'd hope that it would shoot pretty well. Now, if we take a look at this in the hands, I mean, it's not bad. It feels good. It feels just like the Uzi. A nice, big, thick grip. It is a vertical 90 degrees, so it might be a little bit different of an angle for some people, but it just feels good in the hands. Again, I wish that front was an orange tip. I don't like that black, but you can see there the double, kind of the double red dot scopes there. I think it is a little excessive, but when you kind of tilt it to the side, I guess that's why you have the other one on the side in case you want to fire it at a 90 degree, 33 degree angle. So you can look down one, and then when you want to go vertical, you can look down the other. Personally, I think it looks kind of cool. It's like way over the top, but whatever. You do have that back end strap here because this thing is just a beast, right? Come on, to be honest, yeah, you don't really need this, but it's probably pretty good just to keep it in your wrist in case, I don't know, you're running and it falls out of your hand or something, but still nonetheless, I don't think it's going to kick back so far that you need to do it. Again, look at that. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Now, to fire this particular blaster, it's very similar to other electronic blasters on the market. You have the rev trigger on the bottom, and then you actually have the trigger itself. So the rev trigger revs up those motors. The higher you can get them to full RPM and shoot, the higher the FPS is going to be. And these things spool up really, really quick. So just take a listen here. I mean, they are almost up to speed probably in about a second. We've seen things like with some of the Nerf rival stuff where it takes 2-3 seconds to kind of ramp up. And yeah, having this thing spool up in about a second, I think is awesome. It does have the nice quick mag release here. I always notice with some of these blasters is the first couple times you use it, the mag is kind of, it's a little sticky, right? It feels a little grimy, but the more you use it, it just gets smoother and smoother and smoother. The mags themselves can hold 12 rounds. You can almost fit 13 or 14 in here, but you put a little too much pressure on the top of that, and what happens is that pusher gets stuck, and you do not want to burn that thing out because there's no extra pieces for that unless you order them or you break it. I don't know. So just fit 12 in the mag, maybe even 11 to put not as much pressure on that top pusher at the top. Now, this blaster is a fully auto only. You could try and shoot it semi, but you're probably going to shoot one or two a few of the times, and we'll see that here in a second. So let's go and shoot this thing. I know that's what you guys want to see. So here we go. Here is me just ripping off a cool couple of full autos, right? This thing can dump a clip in about a second to a second and a quarter. So you're shooting anywhere between 8 a second to 9 a second, somewhere right in there. But if you listen, you could hear when those darts that come along with this, the ones that are darker with that hard plastic, you can hear it hitting the door. It is not a comfortable sound by any means. I would not want to get hit with that. It will definitely leave some type of bruise. But when you shoot the regular darts, yeah. And if you look at the performance here, you know, as you kind of go up, you get the suction darts that shoot basically the least. You get the standard hard tip darts that come along with it that shoot mid-tier. And then I have a couple Adventure Force stuff here and Dart Zone stuff, which shot the best. And that's kind of been the classic scenario that we've seen with some of these off-brand blasters is the darts that come with it don't typically shoot the best that we've seen. So I would just dump the ones that come along with it and pick yourself up a pack of 100, Dart Zone ones from Target or Walmart, whatever, and just use those. But still, look, I'm trying to shoot doubles and triples right there. I think it's awesome. I always like these kind of full auto blasters. You cannot go wrong, right, with these things. But listen to that. I mean, it shoots great. It shoots really good. And for how cheap it is, it's awesome. So there you go, guys. Just me shooting that thing really quick again. You know, these blasters that are coming right around the $60 mark for a full auto like this, I think it's awesome. Everything is in the box, ready to go. Anything comparable to this is usually going to run you around the $150 to $200 mark, somewhere right in there. And you got to order the batteries and things like that additionally. So I think getting into something like this for around the $60 mark, I think is awesome. And with the performance right about 80 to 90 FPS, it isn't too bad. I do wish there was a selector. I've seen some of these with a selector where you can go from single to triple to full. I couldn't, I was going to order another one, but I was like, let's just stick with this one to see how it goes. But the first thing that I would do with this is get rid of this and wrap that with orange or color this orange. It's just a must. You don't want to point this thing at anybody by any means. So, I mean, that is my 2 cents as always on these kind of blasters that you guys have probably seen, but you're kind of on the fence. Again, with double flywheels in here, so 4 motors, automatic pusher, comes with the battery, comes with everything ready to go for about $60. It is not bad. It is not bad. Other than my first one I got, that was bad. But this one seems to just rock. I've put in probably about 200 to 300 rounds to this thing, and it shot great. It shot great. Any issues were because of me. But again, guys, I appreciate you guys watching my videos, just kind of hearing me give my 2 cents about some of these blasters out here on the market. I'm curious, any of you guys got this thing? If so, leave it down in the comments. I am very curious. And again, remember that number because that's probably going to come up for some reason. Who knows? Anyways, thanks again, Fox fans.